Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha mam. Sharade pahi mam Shankara.
Still the volume is not there, Soma.
Sharade pahi
It's very
mam
low.
Shankara raksha mam. Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha mam. Sharade.
Do all the others also feel like that?
Yeah, it was lower.
Pahi mam Shankara raksha mam. Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha mam. Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha mam. Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha mam.
I can stop and start again. Let us see.
Okay. But if my voice comes through okay, then that's okay. So we can find out.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We
Okay.
can hear you very well, Auntie.
Okay.
Rio, Mummy, I have a question. Last month's lecture I missed. I'm unable to find the
Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha mam. 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 Sharade pahi mam Shankara raksha मां शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष माम् शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां 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 शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sharada Sharadamboja Vadana Vadanambuje Sarvata Sarvata Asmakam Sannidhim Kriyad Shankarupena Machittam Panki Gadamabudya Kinkari Yasha Shamhaya Shankara Acharya Makshaye Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudam Bharati Tirthamashaye Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vita Ragam Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidushekara Bharatim Sadguru Charnaravindhabhyam Namaha Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all for joining us for another session of Vande Vidya Shankaram. Today we are continuing with our lectures on Panchadasi. We are in chapter 2. Mami, please take it away. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Namah Shri Shankarananda Guru Padambu Janmane Savilasa Mahamoha Graha Grasaika Karmane. Welcome everyone. So if we can chant 87 to 90, it will be nice. If you can, Soma, if you can please show those. Wow, maybe it's not working today properly. Oh, there it is. Okay, so 87th one, huh? Last time we did all this. Chintayedvanhimapyevam maruto nyunavartinam brahmanda-varaneshvesha nyunadhika vicharana tayordashamshato nyuno vanhirvayau prakalpitaha puranoktam taratamyam Dashamshair-bhuta-panchake Vannirušnat-prakashatma Purvanugatirattra cha Asti vanhis-sanistatvaha Shabdavan sparshavan-api Sanmaya vyoma-vaivamshaihi युक्तस्य अग्नेर्निजो गुणः रूपं तत्र सतः सर्वम् अन्यद् बुद्ध्या vivichyatam. We are done up to that. So, in all these verses, we had the analysis of Vani, that is Agni, which is again which is product of Maya again. So the concept of grosser effect element, remember we have done that the effect is only 1/10 of the causal subtle element. We have to remember. So in that last time we had seen that Vidyaranyaji had said, where does this information come from? It was so nice that he gave the credit to Puranoktam. It is from the Puranas. And which Purana? Last session we said how it is from Bhagavata Purana, the 3rd skandam, etc., 26th verse, and in 26th chapter, 52nd verse. So from the Bhagavatam, which is of course the best of all the Puranas. All the Puranas are great, but Bhagavatam is extraordinary. So all the Puranas have got the entire Upanishadic wisdom in them. Because the Puranas and Itihasas are supposed to be, the explanations of the Upanishads. That's the whole thing. It's very difficult to understand Upanishads and Vedas directly. So all these Puranas and Itihasas, they kind of make us realize what the meaning is with all these beautiful episodes. So a lot of things get revealed in the study of Itihasas and Puranas. So that's why we give a lot of importance to Puranas and Itihasas in the style of presentation. So in what is the difference between Upanishad and all this? In Upanishad, every word is taken as pramana. Whatever Upanishad says, every word we take it as pramana. But in the Puranas and Itihasas, only the essence of it is taken as the pramana. Not everything. So, because the style of presentation is so different, it has got all the stories, it becomes more interesting, and then we get sometimes carried away by the story that we forget why that story has been told. So we have to remember what is the main point. So when you start telling stories, certain licenses are given. They are just taken for granted. But nonetheless, whatever be the case, the essence of it is still considered as very much valid. And therefore, Vidyaranyaji makes it a point to mention this word, Purana Uktam. This is from the Puranas. So sometimes, we think that Puranas, who knows how valid it is and all that, So all those things, just forget it. He says that, such a beautiful, example is taken from the Bhagavatam. So from that point of view, the Pramana Shastra is taken as the Puranas in Advaita Vedanta, which is a point that I didn't have time to make last time. So I wanted to tell you that even though it has been taken from Puranas, it is a very valid point, and that's how we proved the point last time. So initially, we start with the analysis of Sat being the property, and not Adheya. And then as we go, forward, the Sat becomes the Adhara. So then Adhara itself, the entire Agni became the Adheya. We had done all these analysis last time. Adhara, Adeya being different, how we did all that. If you have missed one class, then it doesn't matter because it's the same thing for the previous one also we have done. So the same analysis. So somebody said they were not there for this last time. Never mind, because whatever we had done before, the same way we have done. So Agni becomes, then, Asat, because Sat is the Adhara, making Agni as Mithya in the final analysis. So that's how we had done this Agni analysis. Okay. Now, let us go to the verse number 71. All right. So, we'll see 70 first. Sorry,
91?
91, not 71, 91. After 90, how did 71 come? Going to 90, first verse. Sato vivechite vannau mithyatve sativasite. Sato vivechite vannau mithyatve sativasite. Apo dashamshato nyunaha kalpita iti chintayet. Apo dashamshato nyunaha kalpita iti chintayet. Together. Sato vivechite vannau mithyatve sativasite. Apo dashamshato nyunaha kalpita iti chintayet. Sato vivechite vannau mithyatve sativasite. Apo dashamshato nyunaha kalpita iti chintayet. See, when we write in Sanskritam Vahnau, but then it is pronounced as Vannau. It's not that we don't know, we know that, but Vanni, we say, even though it is Vahni, when it is written Vahni, we say Vanni, So that's the way it is pronounced. Okay, just a little bit of Sanskritam. So now, Sataha Vivechite Vahnau, Vannau. Sataha, from Sat. From Sat, when Vanni means the fire. When the fire has been differentiated, Vivechanam means has been differentiated. When the fire has been differentiated from Sat, so means all the other aspects of fire, namely the heat, the Ushnaha, Prakashaha, the brightness, and then Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, all that Mithyatva, when all these have been differentiated from the Sat, when the other aspects of fire have been differentiated, then what happens? Mithyatve vasite sati. Then the mithyatva, that means the falsehood. The falsehood of that has been vasite. We have to remember that same word has been used all the time. Vasite means has become a vasana. That means very firmly rooted. We have understood it so well that there is no doubt about it. That's why it's called as vasite. So when it has been firmly rooted, then, so whenever we want to use mithyatva, we use vasite, firmly rooted. We always do that. So what do we mean by firmly rooted? In spite of perception, we can see it. It looks like it is real. But, your clarity about its absence has become strong. Now you have understood? No, it's not real. That has become a vasana for you. It has become very clear for you. Like when we say, we see the mirage water. And then perception there is of water only. Even after you know that it is mirage, but that even when you know, when you see that, like when we are going in the tar road during 12, like midday in the summer, then you see the water, isn't it? But that does not in any way take away your knowledge, of it being, we don't take it to be actually there. The appearance, even though we see, we know that it is not. So that is the meaning of vasite. That has become a vasana in your mind. So when you say firm, that's what it is. So yeah, I see. No? So, but in spite of your seeing, it does not take away your clarity. That is the whole thing. Because Pratyaksha has got the power to take away the knowledge. When you see something, but with my own eyes I saw. What are you saying like that? How can it be? We always fight like that. So even Anumana you may use sometimes, but when you see Pratyaksha, when with my own eyes I have seen, how can I say that it is not there? How can I not take it as Pramana? So, so many people say God is not there. Why? Because I don't see. Don't people say like that? That's the simple logic that people use. But I said that world is there. Why? Because I see immediately. So Agni similarly, Agni being seen, but still if you are not deluded, like how the mirage water you see, but still you are not deluded. You know that's not real. So you will not make a trip to take some water to quench your thirst or to wash your clothes or whatever. You know that it is not there, even though you see it. So you know that it is false. So that is called as vasite. That means completely you have understood. Sato vivechite. So the sat, so from the sat, that Agni has been differentiated, and mithyatvam and its delusory nature, vasite sati. When that has taken place, then Agni is false, is no. After you do that, you go to the next step. When your knowledge is very firm, apo dashamshato nyunaha kalpita iti chintayet. Now you go on to the next element. So the same style of inquiry follows. What? Apaha. That is the water. Dashamshato nyunaha means nyuna means it is 1/10 of fire. We know that. The next element that comes out is 1/10 of the previous element. Kalpita. Finally, water will also be proved to be false. Okay. So we have already proved what all have we done. The space. After that, Vayu. Right. Now Agni. And then now we are going to water. Next one. Therefore, iti chintayet. In this way, you have to think and come to the conclusion. So how do we do that? Oh my God, you are again going to start? Yeah. So without any, shame, we'll just do the same thing. Again, enumerating the properties of water. In that sat will be there. Make the sat as adhara, and the other things are adheya, and adhara and adheya are always different. So adheya being different, it is mithya. That's all. You have to keep on doing all that. So that's what. Please, are you going to? Yes, I'm going to do that. And maybe I should not have joined today. Yeah, you should not have. Okay, so going to the next one. 92nd verse. Santyapo mu shunya tattva सशब्दस्पर्श संयुताः सन्त्यापोमुष्यन् शून्यतत्त्वाः सशब्दस्पर्श संयुताः रूपवत्योऽन्यधर्मानुवृत्त्या. Actually, this whole line, we'll have to say it together, because if we stop, then it doesn't come out. The meter won't be right. रूपवत्योऽन्यधर्मानुवृत्त्या स्वीयो रसो गुणः. Together, सन्त्यापोमुशून्यतत्त्वाः सशब्दस्पर्श संयुताः रूपवत्योऽन्यधर्मानुवृत्त्या स्वीयो रसो गुणः. सन्त्यापोमुशून्यतत्त्वाः सशब्दस्पर्श संयुताः रूपवत्योऽन्यधर्मानुवृत्त्या स्वीयो रसो गुणः. All right. So, in this verse, we are now coming to the water, the properties of water. So, when you are doing that, you are saying that they are all the, these are all the properties of the water because of its karana, from where it has come. And this is its own property. All this, like how we have done so far. So, what are the properties? Amuhu apaha santi. These waters, santi. First one, the waters are existent. There is existence. So, where do we get that isness, or it is there? That is from Sat. We have to remember, always from the Sat, that isness, existence. Because of, again and again, remember the first Shuklambaradaram, what was that? Sadeva Saumya Idamagrasit. Sat Eva becomes Sadeva. So Sat alone. So from that only it has come. So Sat is the ultimate, the first cause. From that you get the existence aspect. It is like that. Then Shunya Tattvaha, having no reality intrinsically. Of its own, there is no reality. It doesn't have its own existence. Shunya Tattva. That comes from what? That comes from Maya. Okay. From the Maya, the same thing. For all of them, we have done that. So, Shunya Tattva comes from Maya. The existence Tattva came from Sat. The Shunya Tattva comes from Maya. Saha means Sahita, along with Shabda. Where from did that Shabda come? The Shabda came from Akasha. Sparsha. Sparsha came from Vayu. Then Samyutaha. Samyuta means it is endowed with it. It has. What else is it? Rupavatyaha. So it has got Rupa also. And where did that come from? I have to immediately know, from Agni. It has come from Agni. Anya dharma anuvrittya. So all these things have come by anuvritti. Anuvritti means because of the earlier cause, it has followed. Anu means always after. They have all come from that cause. From the causes. Anya, they are all not its own, but they all belong to the other things. So, okay, they belong to the factors, the causal factors. Number one was existence, remember, from Sat, etc. You have to remember in your mind. The second one was Shunya Tattva from Maya. Then Shabda, from where? Sparsha, and then Rupa. So already how many properties are there? 5 properties already are there in water. And these are all coming from the lineage. from the others, from where it has come. So anu means it has followed, it follows from its earlier cause. So 5 properties from its earlier cause, these are the factors. Okay, what is its own property? So now Sviya means always its own. Its own property, raso gunaha. The guna of rasa. Rasa means taste. All Tamil people will think it's immediately rasam to drink. So only if it is a good tasting thing, it should be called as rasam. Some people make it so bad. Anyway, that's another thing. We will have another discussion on that. So raso gunaha, the guna of it is taste. So being tasteable, water is tasteable. So that tasteability is its own nature. The other things are from its parents, from where it has come. Now this one is its own taste. Now we have found out how many properties? 6 properties. 5 were there already, and then now tasteability, this is the 6th one. Now, okay, so we all know what should be the next step that we have to do? You have to differentiate it. You have to differentiate all the others from the Sat first. Then everything will become false. Okay, it's simple. No, so but why do you? Yeah, we have to do that. Okay, so now, beautifully, Vidyaranyaji goes to the next shlokam, 93rd shlokam. Sato vivechita swapsu तन्मिथ्यात्वे च वासिते सतो विवेचिता स्वप्सु तन्मिथ्यात्वे च वासिते भूमिर्दशांशतो न्यूना कल्पितास्विति चिन्तयेत् भूमिर्दशांशतो न्यूना कल्पिताप्स्विति चिन्तयेत्. Together. Sato vivechitaapsvapsu तन्मिथ्यात्वे च वासिते भूमिर्दशांशतो न्यूना कल्पिताप्स्विति apsvuti, it is that kalpitapsviti chintayet sato vivechita swapsu tanmithyatve cha vasite bhumirdashamshato nyuna kalpitasvapsviti chintayet kalpitasvapsviti chintayet. So satah, sato means satah, from sat Vivechitasu apsu. Apsu, up means water. So, when the water is vivechita, is differentiated. When the water is differentiated from that sat, then what happens? See, meaning the 6 aspects, what we have just now said, the 6 aspects. When you really understand that the sat is the adhara, and the remaining 5 aspects are all adheya. And in that way, when you understand, then sat becomes the adhara, the adheya, the water becomes different. And this is then tan mithyatve cha vasite. So then, as we have seen all the others, when that water is clearly determined to be false, with all the same logic that we have done. So then he is asking, have you done it in your mind? 2 things are required. One, if you have done it, 2 things you have to say yes or no, or all your samshayas, removed. Without you understanding, I'm not going to go to the next shlokam. So he is very adamant on us saying, okay, sir, I have already understood. Yeah. So all your doubts should be removed. And the next one is, what is that? You all remember? Anaikagriya should be removed. I hope you all remember that word. All different, explanations should not be perfect. I know it is wrong. It is false. So it has become so firm. Then what happens? Okay, then you are ready for the next one. Otherwise, no. Yeah. So what is the next one? Next one is Bhumi. That is the Bhumi Tattva. Okay. Bhumihi dashamshataha nyuna. This earth element is 1/10 of the water. Okay. Kalpitapsu. Kalpitapsviti. When it is said, Kalpita plus apsu plus iti. That's called as Kalpitapsviti. So this Bhumi element is 1/10 of the water, and it is Kalpita apsu. It is just imagined from water. So iti chintayet. So in this way, you have to think. Now, all right. So what is the next one? Now the properties of earth should be done. Then you differentiate it from the Sat and make it again your own Vasana. That's all we have to do. Simple. First is understand that it is 1/10 and what are its properties. Second one. Third is understand that Sat is not really a property, but it is the Adhara. Then make the other Amshas as Adheya. This is the process. And then the Adhara is different from the Adheya. So the Adheya becomes the false one. Yeah. And then after understanding that, make it into your Vasana. Means make it clear that this is not true. Like that. So this is what we are going to be doing again and again every time. So, okay, now. So what are the properties of Bhumi? Now we are coming to the earth. What are the properties of Bhumi? 94. Right. Asti bhustattva shunyasyam. Snow. Correct. Asti bhustattva shunyasyam. Shabdasparshau sarupakau. Asti bhustattva shunyasyam. Shabdasparshau sarupakau. Rasascha parato gandho. Naijas satta vichityatam vivicyatam. Rasascha parato gandho. Naijas satta vivicyatam. Asti bhustattva shunyasyam. Shabdasparshau sarupakau. Rasascha parato gandho. Naijas satta vivicyatam. Asti bhustattva shunyasyam. Shabdasparshau sarupakau. Rasascha parato gandho. Naijas satta vivicyatam. So, asti bhuhu. Asti bhuhu means bhuhu asti. The earth element is. Tattva shunya. But again, it does not have a reality of its own. And still it appears. We can see it, but it does not have a reality. So, where is this kind of appearance in the absence of reality come from? We all know it comes from Maya. So, asyam. Asyam means in this Bhumi Tattva, what is there? Shabda, Sparshau, Swarupau. Means there is Shabda, there is Sparsha coming from Akasha and Vayu. These two Shabda, Sparsha are present along with Sarupakau. Means its own Rupa. Where is the Rupa coming from? The Rupa is coming from Agni, we all know. So, Rasa comes from its own. So, that Rasa is coming from water. So, all these things, sorry, for Rupa, you have to remember, it came from Agni and then the Rasa comes from the water. So, Asti comes from Sat, Tattva Shunya comes from Maya, Shabda, Akasha, remember, Sparsha, Vayu, Rupa is from the Agni, and then Rasa is from its own. All these. Parataha, they are all coming from things, other than it, all these other things. Now, all these 6 are coming from the causal factors. What is its own property? It has got its own property. Gandhaha Taijaha. Gandhaha Naijaha. Naijaha means its own. Gandha is smell. It has got its own property of smell. Satta Vivicyatam. From these 6, remove the Sat. It means you differentiate Sat from these. So, again, in your mind, you do all the process, like a math thing, So, first, Sat is the Adhara and everything else which constitute the various aspects of earth, you differentiate from the Satta. And then what will happen? All the others will become Asat. And then when you differentiate from Asat, because of the Adhara and Adheya, this is Asat and appearing, and therefore you call it as Mithya or Tattva Shunya. So you differentiate Satta from that, and then what do you do next? Okay, we'll do the same thing in the 95th verse. We can go because it's the same thing as the other things that we have done. So, 95. Prithakritayam sattayam bhumir mithyavashishyate. Prithakritayam sattayam bhumir mithyavashishyate. भूमेर्दशांशतो न्यूनम् ब्रह्माण्डं भूमिमध्यगम् भूमेर्दशांशतो न्यूनम् ब्रह्माण्डं भूमिमध्यगम्. Together. पृथक्कृतायां सत्तायां भूमिर्मिथ्यावशिष्यते भूमेर्दशांशतो न्यूनं ब्रह्माण्डं भूमिमध्यगम्. पृथक्कृतायां सत्तायां भूमिर्मिथ्यावशिष्यते भूमेर्दशांशतो न्यूनं ब्रह्माण्डं भूमिमध्यगम्. All right. Now, Prithak Kritayam Sattayam. Prithak, when the Sat has been differentiated. So, the way that we have said just now, how it has been differentiated, when we differentiate the Sat from this, then what happens? Agnihi Mithya Avashishyate. Sorry, not Agni, Bhumi. Bhumihi Mithya Avashishyate. Means, whatever that Bhumi will remain as false. Okay. So, he has not said Vasate. he always says vasate, remember, it has to become a vasana for you. So even though he has not said it, you have to know that you have to make it pakka in you. So then, so now, when that has become understood, when that has been understood very well by you, when it has become a vasana for you, then you can proceed further. Once that is in your mind very clear. So, how do I proceed further? This is the question. How do I do that? Bhumehe dashamshato nyunam brahmandam iti madhyagam. Ayo, this is really mind-boggling. So, it says, this Chaturdasha Bhuvanam. What is Chaturdasha Bhuvanam? The 14 worlds are called as Brahmanda. Okay. Now, like that, there are many Brahmandas. Ayo. One Brahmanda has 14 worlds. What are the 14 worlds? We all know Bhumi is considered as the higher world. So Bhumi, Bhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Right? So 7 worlds. Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. Including the Bhumi. Below the Bhumi, 7 worlds. Atala, Sutala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, and finally Patala. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, and Patala. So 7 worlds down and 7 worlds up. So this is just one Brahmandam. Okay. And all these 14 words together is called as one Brahmandam. And this Brahmanda comes from where? You have to remember what we did 2 years or 5 years ago. Auntie, last month what you did, I can't remember. Then you have to keep on listening to or keep on reading it. The Brahmanda comes from the tamas aspect of all the tanmatras. If you remember, long time ago we did that, of the 5 elements. So they all have undergone something called, we had said, Panchikaranam. If I say some word, at least some kind of familiarity will come. Yeah. So those 5 elements in the tanmatra, they all mingled amongst themselves, and then the gross elements were formed. So when we did the Panchikaranam, at that time we had said that in the first chapter, when we did the first chapter. So the Brahmandam comes from the tamas aspect of all the tanmatras of the 5 elements. So the tamas aspect of the 5 elements, which undergo the process of mutual combination, combination, the permutation combination, that like together, I don't know, we have done it long time ago. From the sattva aspect, all the jnanendriyas, all the eyes, nose, etc., all the jnanendriyas along with the prana, they came. Okay. From the rajas aspect of it, all the, the jnanendriyas and the antakarana, mind, intellect. What I said it wrong. So jnanendriyas and the antakarana came from the sattva aspect. From the rajas aspect, the karmendriyas and the pranas came. Karmendriyas and pranas came. And thirdly, from the tamas aspect, all this gross, the gross world has come. That's what we are now referring to. Okay. So all the tamas aspects only undergo mutual combination. Okay. And this Brahmanda comes out. Okay. So we have been saying how it is 1/10, 1/10, 1/10 like this. So if we want to understand how, Brahmanda is how much of this Prithvi element, how much is it? Bhume dashamshato nyunam brahmandam. It said in this one. Now we can understand how big this whole thing is. If you consider Bhumi, and when you look at the size of the Brahmanda, the Bhumi Tattva, so this Brahmanda is only 1/10 of that Bhumi Tattva. And Brahmanda consists of what? All those 7 worlds up and 7 worlds down. All those put together. Mario. So can you imagine the size of Bhumi? The entire Brahmanda, of course, made from all the 5 elements, it's only 1/10 of the Bhumi. So, how much will be the Bhumi? We cannot even imagine. So, from that, you imagine that Bhumi is only 1/10 of the Apa, the water. Like that, 1/10, 1/10. Because Bhumi is only 1/10. So, can you imagine the extent then of Agni? Then go up, Vayu. 1/10 of Agni, 1/10, all this. And then go on to Akasha. All right. Then I'm not going to leave you. And then go to the Maya. All these are only 1/10 of Maya. Your mind has to keep on expanding, expanding. And the entire Brahmanda itself, you can't see the beginning and end. Oh, okay. And finally we say it's only 1/10. Are we really understanding the bigness? So, the extent of the Bhumi. So it says Bhumehe dashamshako nyunam. That is why it being 1/10 of the extent of Bhumi, Brahmandam Bhume Madhyagam. This Brahmandam exists in the middle of that Bhumi, what we are talking of, Bhumi Tattva. So this is the Brahmanda. So this Brahmanda, after that we had done all these different things. So in that Brahmanda, all this air, the Vayu, all these things we have done. So the Brahmanda itself, it will be shown as Mithya only at the end of it. But before that, what is it that we have to know? We should know what is this Brahmanda? What is there in this Brahmanda? We always say Brahmanda, Brahmanda, Brahmanda. So, but then after that, it will be shown as even that is Mithya. So, now, what do we have to understand? We must understand Brahmanda is Mithya means in that Brahmanda we are all there, you and I. That means our Sharira, which is a part of this Brahmanda, my Sharira is something different. No, madam, or no, sir. That Sharira also is a part of that Brahmanda. So, when the Brahmanda is proven to be Mithya, is false, then what happens to our Sharira? Ayyo, I didn't know you would make it like this sad, So, this Advaita Tattva, it just shows us that Sat alone remains. All the rest of it, including the Brahmanda in which we are all living, everything we, including us, everything is only Mithya. Okay? So, we'll stop with that for today. Otherwise, it will become too much for us. Okay, so what all we have proven that it is false, 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 false. For what? To understand finally that what we are thinking as ourselves, the Sharira that we are thinking is so great. No, I am different. You all may be false. We all think, each one of us. So that is also false. That's what that Advaita Tattva is going to say, how Sat alone remains. So we'll see that next time. So we have done up to 95. 95, no? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, 95. Yeah.
Because, in the 96th verse, it's explaining how all these 14 worlds and all that. So we'll come to that next time. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thank you so Thank you so much, Mami. It is very nice again. You will never forget the Adara and Adheya. You continue to do that. This consistency. This 1/10 is definitely interesting concept. It's going to take some time for me also to understand that. Because in Panchikarna, we understand it to some level as saying only these 5 elements.
Yeah.
Now it takes to the other level and talks about the Brahmanda, and it's quite more detailed than that. So, but very, very nice. Thank you. We'll know more as we go. And that, so we can, Dr. Jammunathan is there if he wants to add anything. Otherwise, I'll go with the Mangala.
No, thank you, Sharadaji. Very, very interesting. But I think the only point I want to add as a comment is because Sharadaji kept mentioning that for every element, Sat is there, Maya is there, and then all the Sparsha Sabda gets added to it. And that is why in our India, because there is Sat component to all of that, that's why we divinize the earth, we divinize the air, we divinize the waters, because the Sat component is still there in all of them, though there is Mithya. That's why we have to pray to the waters, we have to pray to the Agni, we have to pray to the earth. So that is the unique concept, the corollary which comes of that. And then once you divinize them after some time, then you have to take the divinity to merge with the Supreme. So you put Varuna as in charge of waters, and then you put Varuna as a part of Vishnu, and then you merge Varuna to Vishnu, and so you have to merge the. So that's the way the process of worship also helps you slowly reach the Brahma Tattva. But that's very interesting that the way she mentioned the Sat component and how the most difficult part is to unrealize the earth. You don't see air, you don't see space. It's very difficult. Okay, yeah, air is okay, Mithya, we can understand it. Why space is, but to understand, you see like Pratyaksha, what Sardati was saying, you see earth and water and fire, and you can touch and feel them, and to make them unreal, it takes time, but we have to go through this, the divine worship as well as the Vedantic way to slowly, reach that state. Thank you, Shardaji.
Thank you.
मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिके शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाम्बिके के काल भैरव के काली दुर्गै के वीर धीर शूर हनुम मारुति चरणति के मल्लिकार्जुन के चल्व जनार्दन के अंबा भवानी कंबद गणपति चंडी चामुंडी के श्री कृष्ण भगवान के श्री चक्रवासिनी के சீதாராம லக்ஷ்மண சகித மாருதி சரணத்திற்கே வித்யாரண்யருக்கே வித்யாசங்கரர்க்கே வாகீஸ்வரிக்கே வஜ்ரதேக கருட ஆஞ்சநேயருக்கே ஸ்ரீவள்ளி தேவ சேனா சமேத சுப்பிரமணியருக்கே துங்கபத்ரைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கநிவாசினிக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே சச்சிதானந்த சிவ அபிநவ நிருசிம்ஹ பாரதிக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு சார்வபௌமருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு வித்யாதீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு பாரதி தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு விதுஷேகர பாரதிக்கே மங்களம் குரு ஸ்ரீ சந்திரமௌலீஸ்வருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி சாரதாம்பி சங்கராச்சாரியருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி மகாகணபதி சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Thank you, Mami. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Any other questions, do send an email. I will make sure that things are added. I think somebody mentioned that it was not there. I'm going to check. If there's anything, I'll make sure this thing adds. If you have if you want to find out, you'll find it from svbfnorth.org/BVS. Vande Vidya Shankaram BVS. If you do that, we should find it. I'll make sure it is there. If it is not, should be there today or tomorrow for sure. Okay. Thank you so much.
Not just last lecture, it is some more also, I think, Soma. Just take a look at it. Yeah.
Are you sure? Really? I thought it was there until then. Until November, it was there. You can go and check it out. We'll see if it is there. Let's make sure. Okay. I'll be happy to. I'll talk to you, Sangeeta ji, if there is anything more we are missing. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Right.